I've spoken before about the type of behaviors and thought processes that you'll have when you start to level up. And I'm going to tell you the reason why you're going to have to make these changes. See, when you make changes in your life that requires adjustment, your spirit adjusts. You're going to be in a situation where you go somewhere that you used to hang out with the no good people, and your spirit's not going to allow you to even stay there. You're going to feel uneasy all of a sudden. You're going to feel unsafe. And you've probably been around these people or this place thousands of times before and had no conscience whatsoever. And see, consciousness is the key word. When you start to level up, your consciousness rises. It goes up a level or two or three. And you can't control it. So you might be a little stubborn for a while and try to keep yourself around these negative forces. But it'll be a matter of time before you just find yourself doing it less and less, and you don't even miss the situation. And you darn sure don't miss the people. You are going to lose some people in your life when you level up. And it's going to hurt. It's going to sting for just a little while. But once you reach your goal, then you're going to look back and you're going to realize that it was necessary for you to lose that person because that person would not fit into your new reality. And that is the truth. Sometimes you have to feed people with a long-handled spoon. And for those of you who don't know what that means you have to love from a distance. You know, this is your life. And there is no guarantee to dare tomorrow if you're going to be here. And if you aren't here, there's no guarantee whether or not you're going to come back. Now, I know this flies in the face of a lot of people who have spiritual encounters and religious beliefs. That's fine. But we're dealing with facts as of today and right now. We're all humans and we're here living and breathing. And we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So the thing for you to do is just to make sure that you have everything in place as far as your energy and as far as where you want to be and where you're going. None of us were perfect. We've all made mistakes. Some of us learned from it, some of us haven't. That's just the way it is. But if you think for 1 second that you can bring some of the old people and the old places and the old situations into your new reality in hopes that they'll get washed clean, you are sadly mistaken, because it's not going to happen. See, we're dealing with people here. And I understand that you want to take people with you. But have you noticed in the past that a lot of people who had good intentions of taking somebody with them wound up losing just about everything? Because the people that they take with them, they just don't have the mindset to deal with your new reality. They don't understand it. Some of them try to hate on it. And they just don't get it. This is a responsibility that you're taking on. And you're going to need support from the right people. You're going to need support from the people who understand your vision and who are going to be there unconditionally no matter what. You don't have time for double dealers. You don't have time for ulterior motives. You don't have time for crabs in the bucket mentality. You don't have time. And you're not going to be able to make yourself available to that negative Nancy who calls you every Thursday night complaining about the same thing that she complained about the year before and the year before that and the year before that and has nothing left to do. You don't have an hour anymore to give away to that. You really don't. And you have to understand that. But the thing is once you start taking on this task and you're moving in the right direction, it's full steam ahead. You don't have time to stop for long smoke breaks. You don't have time. But some people figure they can ride your coattails and they'll be able to get what they want. And they might be able to get it, but the thing is, the way they got it, because they rode your coattails, they were so busy trying to focus on the prize, they didn't think about the responsibilities associated with keeping with the prize, and they wind up losing what they went for anyway. See, that's a problem with a lot of people. They want that thing or that person, but they don't think about all the responsibility associated with it. And they're not mentally or emotionally equipped to handle it. So that's the reason why I always talk about the attitudes and the thoughts that you need to have when you're trying to level up, because you're going to encounter all types of people who are going to want a piece of what you have. But you have to remember, this isn't something that you just picked up in the grocery store like produce. This was given to you from above, and it was designed for you. Now, you can use some of it to help people, that's fine, but you're not going to give up the whole thing, because you have sense enough to realize that that was designed for you, and it was meant for you to use, and it was meant for you to process, and it was meant for you to fulfill the goal, and nobody else. So anybody else who comes along that calls himself try to quote unquote take it from you, they're not going to be able to use it. It's going to be like you have a ripe piece of fruit in one hand and you have a dried piece of fruit in the other hand. Okay? The ripe piece of fruit is doing fine, but you just turn away for 1 second and you look, and in both hands you've got dead fruit. And you're wondering where the fresh fruit went. That's how your purpose is. Your purpose is the fresh, ripe fruit. You don't know how long it's going to stay ripe, but it can easily die if you put it in the wrong conditions. And that's exactly what will happen. So you got to treat this. This is a gift, and you have to treat it as such. I believe everybody has a purpose in this world, and unfortunately some people are just not spiritually aware to be able to deal with it. And I get that. See, not everybody's going to be able to start a business. Not everybody's going to be able to take care of themselves. Not everybody's going to be able to be wealthy. Not everybody's going to be able to do it. There are going to be some people that are just going to spend their life every single day suffering. And there's not much you can do about that. You can show a little bit of kindness to them, but as far as you getting inside their head and changing their thought processes so they can do for themselves, it's not going to happen. And people need to start to learn to understand, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. You cannot get inside anybody's head and make them think the way you want them to think. It doesn't matter what you say or what you do. You can't do it. So just back off. Focus on your goal. Stay there. And just enjoy the process. Don't be one of these people so focused on the goal you can't even enjoy the process to get there. Enjoy every single little step, every single little accomplishment. Enjoy it. Because this is a unique experience for you. Just saying.